What's up guys, it's your boy Romans and we got the One Piece Swordsman tier list. Some of you guys have been requesting it for quite a while now, so I decided, you know what, let's get one going, let's get one started, because there are still a lot of questions we have about some characters that just, have a sword. We have Shanks, we have Mihawk. I do have some takes in this video that you guys are gonna have some fun times talking about in the comments. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the crew. We love to have you. We do videos like this all the time. Now, I will say this about this video. This is not an overall strength ranking. So, for example, there will be sometimes like Zoro will be above Big Mom on this tier list because this is about to just be talking about swordsmanship, it's the sword skill of that character. And I feel like that needs to be talked about more with these characters. So some characters will be shown more love because some do deserve the love of what they've shown. They work with a sword more than some of these other characters. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Now, on this tier list, I have the tiers right here. I have Sword Gods, Master of their Blade, Advanced, Basic, and then characters that have a sword. There are going to be some characters on here that we have no choice but to put in that category. It is what it is. But yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into it. The first character we have up is Tashigi. Some people still have a lot of promise when it comes to Tashigi, and that's fine. That's completely okay. I'm not going to go and put her at has sword. I feel like she deserves a little bit more than that. I'm gonna put her in the basic category right now, basic swordswoman. She does her thing with it. Hopefully when she pulls back up again, she'll do something. In recent chapters she appeared but she didn't do anything, so I don't know. We have our thoughts about it, but hopefully she can move up. Next character, Cracker. I will say this, I don't think Cracker gets talked about enough with his skill with his sword. Now I might be mistaken with this. I wouldn't say that he has a 12 grade blade, but I think it's one of the 24. Maybe I might be wrong, but I do know he does have an advanced sword and he knows how to use it well with his other skills. I'm gonna put him advanced. I'm gonna put him in an advanced swords tier. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. That might be the first hot take of the video already. Some of y'all probably like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I can't. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna go and have him right there. I feel like that's fair, and I feel like we're gonna see him later on. He might be another wild card, like with Katakuri, you know what I'm saying? Katakuri may not be the only strong ally that pops back up to help out. He might be one of them as well. Next character we have up is Trafalgar Law. Now, one of my favorite characters, as you know. I'm not gonna be biased with this, because does he have an advanced battle IQ with his Devil Fruit? Yes. Does he use his sword decently well with his Devil Fruit? Again, it's not a power ranking tier list, so I can't put a lot of his Devil Fruit into play with this. I'm gonna say not has a sword, but I'll put him at basic. I'll put him above Tashigi. I think that's fair. I feel like we've seen Law do more with his sword than we've seen Tashigi with hers, so I think that's fair at the moment. I'm gonna think about that. Next character is a character who a very controversial character, Shiryu of the Rain. Cold nickname though, cold epithet. So I'm gonna put him at advanced. We still know a lot about Shiryu, but we can go off of just the lore and what we've heard about him in the story, about his swordsmanship. It was always emphasized his swordsmanship, not his Devil Fruit, his swordsmanship. I feel like he's not gonna let us down. I really do. Next up, we have our Straw Hat Brook. This was a tough one for me, because I could either put him top tier basic or I could put him in advanced because he does do a lot with his sword and he is a swordsman, and Brook needs more love, man. He's been clutched so many times and it's always in dramatic fashion with his sword. I'm gonna put him at advanced, but yeah, I'm gonna put him behind Shiryu and Cracker though. Yeah, I'm gonna put him right there. Next one we have up is Kawa. When I made this tier list, I actually made this one and it was actually kind of frustrating. I kept forgetting characters and had to keep adding them. Obviously some of these are gonna represent the rest of the 9 of the Scabbards because, man, Kawa, that's my guy. Bro, every time he pulled up, man, even when he was locked up, it was time. He was on that time. Yeah, we gotta put him at advanced. Not over Cracker though. That's tough because it's the Oden sword style, right? And he has his own sword style too. I think where he is right there is good. Next up, we have one of the OGs, everyone out there. Why do people still talk down on Oden, bro? It makes no sense. No questions asked. Right here, we have our first Master of their Blade. Remember, if we're talking about, again, it's not a power tier list, but even if it was, Oden's up there. No Devil Fruit, just his hockey and his swordsmanship. And that's what made him so dangerous. That's what made him a problem with Kaido. That's why there's so many debates still if that Oden could beat Kaido. We're not gonna get into that in this video, but you guys know what I'm saying. Come on now. The moment Zoro grabbed one of his swords, bro, he was leaking. Zoro didn't know what was going on. So, I mean, come on. Like, master of his blade, master of his craft. Yes, first character in that tier. Yeah, come on now. Next character we have up is Denjiro. Now, in my personal opinion, Denjiro is a problem. Oh my gosh, man. I'm a big Denjiro fan. I'm gonna put him in advance, no questions asked. Above our guy Kawa. Again, I don't know if I can put him over like... Let me know what you guys think about that. I am. Again, I'm getting confused. I'm not trying to do it. It's not a power rank. Yeah, I'm gonna put Denjiro up. Now, next up, we have a character who can arguably be a top 10 character if we find out more about him. And if everything we have in our headcanon is true, it's Saint Garling. And man, at the moment, I don't know. I feel like I have to put him at just has a sword, you know? We don't know enough about his swordsmanship, but it's getting pushed towards, you know, he's gonna be completely elite with it, you know what I'm saying? But at the moment, I don't want to put him up there within, you know, the characters that we're gonna have up there. It's only fair. I feel like that's just fair right there. Because remember, if he's gonna be lower than these characters in this tier list, it's not saying that he's weaker than them. It's a swordsmanship skill tier list. So yeah, we're gonna have him down there. This leaves us space, you know, for in the future, we can do a more updated swordsmanship tier list, even with characters on that are missing on here. So yeah, we're gonna have him down there for now. Next up we have is Hawkins. You guys know me. I'm not a Hawkins fan. It's mainly because of how he uses devil fruit and, you know, all that. But again, the video's not for that. We're gonna put him at basic. I'm just gonna have him at basic. I don't feel like he deserves to just be down there with has a sword. Yeah, we're just gonna have him at basic and leave it at that. Oh, next up we have is Bogard, man. We know he's a swordsman, but do we really know? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be the funniest thing, that it was just like a prop. Like, what if he's just like Garp Sparbro? You know what I'm saying? Like, he got fists too, but I know it's nothing like that. I know he's probably cold with the sword. It's just really hard to scale him. It's hard to put him up there with advanced when we're just like, okay, there's gonna be characters up there where we haven't seen him do anything compared to those characters. You know what I'm saying? At the moment, we're gonna put him at has a sword, man. We're gonna put Bogard the myth, the legend, at has a sword, but he is in the same ranks as Sir Saint Figurine Garling. Next up we have our guy Kairos, man. Kairos, heavily carried off his swordsmanship, you know? Dressrosa, off of just what he did and his story. Come on now, that's all his swordsmanship and his strength. We gonna have him at, it's fair to put him at advanced. I'm gonna put him at advanced on here. With how this is looking, I think it's fair to have him right there. He deserves that. He deserves that. If he had armament hockey and everything else that could fit with his arsenal, oh my god. Never know, he could pull up with it. He could pull up with it. Next one is Ashura Doji, another Skyward look. I'm gonna have him at advanced, man. It's hard not to put them all in advanced. Like, they are, it's, you know, it's Wano, you know, the land of the samurai. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to not put, is to put him at basic? I can't right now. I can't. End of the video, they might, some might. I don't know. We'll see how it ends out. Next up, look, I have the silhouette of, you know, the God Knights. They're all rumored to be, you know, extremely strong swordsmen. We're gonna put them at half swords, you know. It's just, at the moment, I feel like it's only right with this. It's only right. They're gonna be strong, you know. They're gonna be strong, but it just wouldn't be fair towards the rest of the list at the moment. Next up we have is Big Mom. With Big Mom, I almost wanted to say it has a sword, but at the same time, she does use her sword in some manner. You know, it's in her arsenal. It's in her skill set. I'll put her at basic, but I feel like Law uses his sword a lot more of what he does than Big Mom. I don't know about that. Remember, this is not an overall strength ranking, you know what I'm saying? So remember that before you get mad in the comments like, what is that? Law beating Big Mom one-on-one? No, absolutely not. One-on-one, Big Mom is wiped in Law. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have it at that. Next one we have up is Smoothie, one of Big Mom's kids. I'm gonna put Smoothie at has sword. I'm not really, I need to see more from Smoothie. I do. Yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. Next character we have up, ladies and gentlemen, come on now. It's Ryuma. We're putting Ryuma at Sword God. No questions asked. It's always funny when I see like debates between Shanks and Mihawk and the strongest swordsman, all this. I've seen people even say that the translation has been read for it to say the most skilled swordsman, not the most strongest. And that's how I've always felt with this as well. But when it comes to just straight swordsmanship, I feel like there's no question that Ryuma is arguably 1 or 2. And at the moment, I still think he should be, I don't know, maybe number 1. We'll see by the end of the video, but we are putting him at Sword God. I cannot wait for the anime adaptation of Monster. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Put some respect on his name. Next character we have up, man, S-Hawk. Here's my take on S-Hawk, man. He hasn't lost. If I am not mistaken, he has not taken an L whatsoever. Like, I get he has the Lunarian blood as well, but his swordsmanship has been something that's been heavily emphasized on, especially with the Mihawk vibes that are just heavy going on there. Who knows, this might be a little glimpse within showing us how Mihawk swordsmanship is just, you know, how we're just scratching the surface on it. I don't know, but I do feel like S-Hawk shouldn't be slept on when it comes to swordsmanship, and does belong to be up in advanced. I'm gonna say that because come on now, I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping, with the aesthetic and everything going on with the Seraphim, but I do feel like S-Hawk needs to be up here. I feel like they're gonna get active. I really do. Now, we do have another character that does deserve to be talked about more often as well, and it's Vista. Look, one of the remnants of the Whitebeard Pirates, obviously one of the strongest swordsmen in the show. In Marineford, I know there are still a lot of questions that go with the power scaling, but it was still shown anytime Vista was on the screen how skilled he was. He doesn't have a devil fruit, so everything that, you know, he does is through his swordsmanship. Like, he's going in advanced. I'm gonna put him up here with, man, actually, you know what? Yeah, damn near, I'm putting him above Shiryu. That's what we're gonna do. Come on now. Don't sleep on the Whitebeard Pirates, man. I feel like Vista's gonna be someone that we see again. Like, we never think about that. What if Vista is someone that pops up and actually helps Zoro in some type of way as well? You know, because I do see Shiryu as an obstacle for Zoro overall due to Shiryu and his devil fruit. I feel like that's gonna help Zoro and his observation hockey and his future sight. But you know, that's another topic for another video. But yeah, we're gonna have Vista right there at top of advanced. Again, let me know what you guys think about that. Next character we have up is the Gorosei. Oh man, there has been no slowing down with the comparisons ever since we saw that he had a sword. Ever since we realized he had a sword, it's like, okay, he's a swordsman. He's gonna be a character that Zoro is gonna fight. It's gonna be a final boss type fight. Blah, 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 blah. He's from Wano. That would be crazy if he didn't even use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it was like a family artifact? Like, what if it was a key to something? It's One Piece. We don't know. Now, don't get mad at me. I'm not saying that he's not a swordsman. That's just me preparing the fact that I'm putting him in the has sword category. I'm gonna act like that's a ranking too. Now trust me, I'm hoping that whenever it's his time, you know, he turns up just like Saturn is in Egghead right now. That's exactly what I want, especially if he's a swordsman. Come on now, that's what I want. But until then, we're gonna make updated videos to these things. That's why we do this, so we can have our foundation, and later on we can be like, dang, yeah, we gotta switch this. We gotta switch this right now. All right, so next up we have is Fujitora. Big Fujitora fan. I'm gonna put Fujitora at, do I wanna put him at advanced or master of their blade? I even feel like off the vibe that Fujitora gives off, like, we don't know where he comes from, you know? We don't know where he's from. We don't know his actual past, and I feel like that has a lot to do with his meaning of how, like, the path he walks. And just because of that, I feel like, you know, he is his blade. He walks his path. That's the definition of an actual swordsman. And Fujitora blinded himself. Master of their blade. I'm tripping. If you guys think that's a good take on that, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, because I feel like that's the premise of this video, the topic, you know, not power scaling. You know, One Piece isn't just about power scaling, you know, it's more than that. Next up we have, okay, we gotta dim it down now. It's just Sanji's brother, Niji. That's all. We're gonna put him, I mean, it's hard to really judge him as a swordsman because he's already just amped out. He could just do that with so many other items, I feel like. I'm gonna put him at basic. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that. I know you're probably like, but there's S-Hawk right there, Romans. Damn, yeah, S-Hawk is right there, isn't he? I don't know, that's tough. We just gonna keep it right there and we gonna go on with that. Yup. Next up we have is Pedro, man, the GOAT. I'm gonna put him at basic here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing that. Putting him up there, man, the GOAT. Next up we have is Cavendish. This is the best picture I could find of him. Every other picture of Cavendish, the tier list didn't let me use it. We have Hakuba as well. Now, I'm gonna put Cavendish at, he's not a basic swordsman at all. And then when he does turn to Hakuba, it just becomes a completely different issue. I'm gonna put him right next to Brook. Now, I did make a video before where I said that Cavendish is stronger than Brook, and some people disagreed, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Cavendish is stronger than Brook? How would Cavendish versus Brook go down? Next one we have up, it's Hachan. Again, we can't see his face, but it's obvious who it is. I'm gonna just put him at basic. I'm gonna put him at basic. I think that's fair. Next up we have is Dogstorm. All right, we're gonna put Dogstorm at advanced. No questions asked too. Deserves to be up there. We've seen what he did in Wano. He's more of a swordsman than Cat Viper. And that's why I didn't put Cat Viper on here. You know, Cat Viper's more, I'm just gonna put the paws on you and whatever else, you know, comes with it. And I don't feel like he's as much as a swordsman as Dogstorm. I get it, he's part of the group, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. If he deserves to be on the next tier list, let me know in the comments and I'll switch that. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know who you want to see on here that's not on here. Next up we have is our guy Hyogoro. Man, come on now. The OG, the GOAT. I had to use a picture of his prime because he just looks like a savage advanced. Come on. You know, the Prime was a problem. I mean, I feel like Prime could have over Cracker possibly. I don't know. Swordsmanship wise, yeah, exactly. Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, Dendro's right there. I'm tripping. Next character we have up, one of the most important characters, one of the strongest characters in the story, point blank period. But when it comes to swordsmanship, it's different in my eyes. So we have Roger. I still have a lot of, you know, questions when it comes to Roger and his swordsmanship, but it's fair to say that I have not seen, you know, a clip or read a panel where we have not seen him, you know, using his sword ace. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people bring up the fact, like, you know, it's cutlass, and I'm like, yeah, it's a different type of sword style than when we're used to really seeing, especially when we're talking about all the main characters in the swordsman world in One Piece. You know, I'm gonna put him at master of their blade. I mean, hey, it's Roger. He uses his sword. He's no devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? He's not over here just being like a hockey man like Garp. You know, it would be different if he didn't have his sword at all. You know, but we've seen him use it at least to know that he uses his sword. So yeah, master of their blade. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know. Next up we have is Kaku. I almost forgot to put Kaku on here, honestly, but I had to. I feel like he deserves some love for this. I'm gonna put him in advanced. I feel like he deserves to be up there. You know, he actually uses swordplay. Where though? I'll have him at. Yeah, I'm even have him under Kawa, man. That's a tough one, but I'm gonna have him right there. Let me switch something here. I think that looks good. Next up we have is Kinemon. Kinemon deserves to be in advanced. He does. He clutched up so many times in Wano. It's not even funny. Even before Wano, but in Wano, you know what I mean. Kinemon, man, durability was maxed out. But if this was a durability tier list, he might be up there in S tier. Next up we have is King. Now guys, I need your help with this one. That's why I cannot wait until we start doing live stream ones where you can help me literally craft these from the bottom up. I do feel like, I guess he does deserve to be in advance, but where? He does, you know, would he be as skilled of a swordsman without his Lunarian powers? I don't feel like his Devil Fruit really comes into play as a swordsman. I don't feel like he would be as good as a swordsman without his Lunarian powers. So that's a tough one, because again, this isn't a power ranking, you know? Does he live by his blade? I feel like that's the best way to really gauge it. I don't know, that's a tough one. To those who are probably gonna still be in the comments like, so you're saying that this character would beat this character? I don't know what to tell you, because I just told you. I feel like he deserves to be in advance, but like, yeah, in that Kaku area with them, you know? Next character we have up is Mihawk, Dracula Mihawk. Now look, I know there were people already looking for the paint his sword tier and everything for Mihawk, but look, for this, I'm gonna keep it 100 how I feel about this. At the end of the day, Mihawk is gonna be a problem. He is the most skilled swordsman in One Piece, and that's how I look at it. Again, I don't go by off of, oh, the strongest swordsman, blah, blah. All I know is Mihawk is the most skilled swordsman when it comes to swordplay. He has probably some of the most craziest tricks we're probably gonna see in the story when it comes to swords play. Zoro isn't gonna know what to do. He probably, like, it's just, he's a sword god. We're gonna put him as a sword god until we get anything that makes us feel like it's the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Am I saying that Mihawk is stronger than Roger? Absolutely not. we're not, I'm not saying that. I want to make sure you guys know that. I am not saying that. All I know is the moment Roger died, Whitebeard became known as the strongest man in the world. You know, so that's what I'm going off of. Again, if this was just a power ranking tier list, Roger is above Mihawk. And the same goes for Ryuma too. Because we still don't know like actual overall power and strength. Again, swordsmanship, yeah, I'm trying to make this as organized as possible. It was a fun tier list idea, so give me a break, give me a break. Just to go off of what we were just talking about, next character we have up is Rox D. Xebec. If you see my videos, you know how I feel about Rox. Rox has the potential to literally be the strongest character in One Piece ever, even by the end of the story possibly, because he was such a problem they had to wipe him from history. We know he has a sword. We don't know how much of a swordsman he was. You know, it took Roger and Garp to team up to take him down. We have, again, Garp, who doesn't have a weapon with just haki, and Roger, who doesn't have Devil Fruit either and just has his sword and haki. What if Rox was like the mix of both of them? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. So for this, I'm gonna put him in the has sword category. Again, if this this was an overall ranking tier list, Rocks would be up there off of just speculation, because off of just the hype alone, Rocks was a complete problem. Until we see some proof to let us be like, okay, he's like Buggy, you know, until then, we can't. Look at who he recruited. The whole, again, let me stop. I can go on for a whole video about that too. Now, next one we have is Zoro. Now, this might be a very interesting take here. You guys know I am a big Zoro fan. He is my favorite Straw Hat if we're not talking about Luffy. He is one of my favorite characters in One Piece. And that's why I am taking this topic very seriously when it comes to Zoro. Does he live by his blade? Absolutely yes. So he's already there in top tier. The question is, would I put him above Shiryu in swordsmanship? And that's where it gets tricky for me. And then when it comes with Vista, like again, like I do feel like Vista is an advanced swordsman. I can't say Zoro is that master of their blade yet. I know some people might say he is, but here's my reason. I feel like the moment Zoro learns how to tame Enma without any hesitation, where he can just wield Enma, go in a fight without any restraints, that's when he can be master of his blade. Until then, he can't be in that degree. He can't be in that level. That is very tough. Oh man. You know what? Yeah, I think, you know what I'll do? I'll put Zoro top advanced. You know, everything he's been through and everything we have seen, like even through his fight with King, that was him not wavering. And I feel like I would just be mad by the end of this video if I didn't put him at least in advance, because he's so close. But until he gets Enma under control, I can't put Zoro in master of their blade. If this was a power ranking, could Shiryu be above Zoro? Absolutely. Now, the next character we have up is a character I know you guys have been waiting on. It is Shanks. Now, you guys know when it comes down to Shanks and Mihawk, I am a Shanks fan. But I do always say this when it comes down to swords play. Do I think Shanks is stronger than Mihawk? Yes. Do I think Shanks is a more skilled swordsman than Mihawk? No. And that's what I think the difference is. I feel like that's what it is. Shanks has more in his arsenal than just his swordsmanship. And I feel like even if that is right, Mihawk knows that and respects that, and that's why he always wants to just test his swordsmanship with Shanks. Remember, Shanks has the observation killer skill. That might be something that negates some skill that Mihawk has, and it's just basic swordsmanship between those two every time they fight. That's what it could be. I don't know. That's just some headcanon. But let me know what you guys think about in the comments. Fair that we can still put Shanks though at master of their blade, because I will say this, he just does give off that aura that he does have that type of respect, especially when it comes to him drawing his blade. I'm gonna put him up there just by Roger, because you know what? Yeah. Now, next character we have up is another character that we still don't know a lot about with his swordsmanship, but I feel like we know enough to say that he is, man, I don't know, Rayleigh, man. That's a tough one. I do feel like he's probably a master of his blade, though. I mean, he's the right-hand man of the Pirate King at the end of the day. You know, Zoro's gonna be master of his blade. He's gonna be a sword god. So I mean, I feel like you never know with One Piece. We're just one chapter away from seeing something and we're just like, okay, master of their blade. Okay, yeah, S tier. I'm gonna put him master of his blade. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna put him above Fujitora. But yeah, guys, that's the tier list right there. I'm gonna take a look at it real quick though and see if I need to change anything. You know what? I'll be thinking about changes already when I start editing it. It's all good. I know you guys are gonna let me know in the comments too where you guys think other characters should be and which characters are missing. But yeah, that's the tier list right there, guys. It's all done. Also, guys, make sure to let me know what other tier lists you want to see as well. It can be on other anime too. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do so and join the crew. But that's all for this video, guys. And until I see you guys next time, much love and God bless.